There are many stories that raise many questions about them, especially earlier. One of the most famous of these stories that took place in the United Kingdom is that of Jack the Ripper. Jack is a serial killer. This happened in London in 1888 AD. In fact, the police could not at the time of arresting this serial killer that the character of Jack the Ripper is a historical mystery to this day, and today through our YouTube channel Storyteller, we are pleased to present to you the real truth. The story of Jack the Ripper, a serial killer, so we hope you will like this story. But before we start, support us by subscribing to the channel and pressing the like button to receive everything new. The events of this story take place in the year 1888 AD, specifically from the 7th day of August until the 10th of September, when 5 girls were killed in the Whitechapel area. He has a lot of information about the anatomy. Despite the police's attempts to arrest the thug, they could not reach him. Throughout the 3 months of 1888 AD, terror and fear dominated the streets of the East End in London. Later, the nickname Jack the Ripper was given to the killer who killed his victims and then mutilated their bodies in a way that made the policemen in a state of panic. Distraught because of what they saw, some say that the number of victims of this killer is not only 5, but that in fact 11 victims were killed by this serial killer. As for the victims of Jack the Ripper, the situation was bad as soon as their bodies were discovered. On Friday, August 31st, the police found the body of Mary Ann Nichols. Mary was 42 years old at the time, and the police found her in Bucks Row Street, now Durward. Not only that, but the police discovered that the victim's abdomen had been slashed more than once. As for the second victim, it was Annie Chapman. In fact, this victim was working in prostitution and was 47 years old at the time of death. By removing part of the victim's bladder and vagina, on the 28th of September, the media received a mysterious message. This message was from Jack the Ripper, where he threatened more murders and torture. In the meantime, chaos spread, as a rumor appeared that the killer was carrying a black bag containing his equipment that he used in torture and killing. Anyone carrying a black bag in his hand would be subjected to assault. On the 30th of September, when Jack the Ripper killed 2 women within a few minutes, the first was Elizabeth, who died at 1 o'clock in the morning. Elizabeth died on Burner Street. When the policemen found her body, blood was still flowing from her neck, but she had passed away. A few minutes later, the police discovered the second body, which was called Catherine Edweys, 43 years old. As for Catherine's body, it was torn apart. In addition to that, Jack the Ripper slit the victim's throat. Jack was not satisfied with that. He removed the uterus and the left kidney. Jack put the guts over the right shoulder. Meanwhile, madness began to completely control London and rumors began to spread. There is a rumor saying that Jack the Ripper was originally a mad doctor. Others see him as a Polish madman and others see him as a Russian czar and other rumors. Meanwhile, Jack the Ripper sent a mocking letter to the police, apologizing to them for not being able to send the permissions to the police as he had promised them. As for the 5th victim, this happened on the 9th day of November. The victim was Mary Janet, who was the youngest of the girls killed by Jack the Ripper. Mary was 25 years old at the time of death. Her body was found in Dorset Street, Duval Street. Currently, Mary died in her room, where the remains of her were found lying on the bed. From the severity of the scene, the person who found her for the first time said, "I will remain haunted by this for the rest of my life." Marie's throat was cut, in addition to her nose and breasts. The viscera of the corpse were covered with a picture frame, and the body was covered with skin. The heart was not found. As a result of this crime, a great public anger prevailed, which resulted in the resignation of Sir Charles Warren, the chief of police at the time. Mary was she is the last victim of Jack the Ripper, and after that no crime appeared, so the killing episode stopped at the time as it began, and to this day the mystery of Jack the Ripper, the unknown murderer of England, remains one of the most puzzling mysteries throughout history that has never been discovered. Now listen to me. Be careful. Jack may be near you. I'm joking with you. by